There isn't a profession, there isn't a discipline, there isn't a career that doesn't have its own version of the Success Trifecta. 3 things that need to magically come together for any individual to achieve his or her full career potential. It doesn't matter whether it's pro hockey, professional speaking, professional wrestling. Every career discipline has its own variation, which may lead you to wonder what's the equivalent on the career path that you are following. The Success Trifecta is studied in depth here at the World Junior Hockey Championships in Buffalo, New York on the Reinvention Chronicles. Special guest joining us here today, Gair Maxwell. Gair, you're going to be 10 years old in April. You're a hockey prospect. You're in your first year of Adam Hockey, and you're here studying the World Junior Hockey Championship. What made you come here to Buffalo just to see the World Juniors?
Well, this kid, Rasmus Dahlin, I was in connection with him, my best friend, his parents, so came to see him play, and hopefully they win.
Hopefully they win. Sweden, by the way, Rasmus Dahlin, the prospect that Caden came to see, is actually touted as the future #1 pick in the NHL draft in June. And Caden, you're very familiar already. You're not even 10, and you're already familiar with the Success Trifecta in terms of what is it that makes a great hockey player. What's the Success Trifecta that you know about?
Well, first you need to have hard skills. So skills.
Hard skills.
You want like skating, passing, shooting.
Okay.
Practicing.
Yeah, hard skills. Okay, and then there's what? Something called hockey sense.
Hockey sense.
What's that?
Sense, sense the game, vision, and just to feel how you play.
Like anticipation, like Wayne Gretzky, knowing what's going to happen before it happens. And then the other thing I know is something you just call one word.
Heart.
Heart. What's heart?
Heart is like put your teammates before yourself, or like dedication, or hard work, stuff like that. Like confidence, pretty much as well.
Yeah, so with that trifecta of hard skills and hockey sense and having heart, you can go a long way in hockey. See, it doesn't matter what profession we're in. What 9-year-old Caden isn't aware of is how the Success Trifecta has such a universal application. It doesn't matter what industry, discipline, or profession you're in. Even, for example, the zany, madcap, cartoonish world of professional wrestling. I mean, if you wanted to start out to be the next Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Man Savage, Nature Boy Ric Flair, The Rock, the Success Trifecta would boil down to 3 W's. Number 1, you had to be able to actually work the gym. You had to be able to come into the iron jungle and not only build the physique that would allow you to take the pounding in the squared circle, but to actually allow you to look the part so that you would be believable. Number 2, you had to be able to work a match, the ballet, the art form, the seesaw, the back and forth, the waltz across Texas, the slip on the banana peel, the 1, 2, 3. That's the art form. That's being able to actually work the match and make it believable in the eyes of the paying public, like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, maritime legend Leo Burke. And number 3, you actually had to be able to work the mic, be a great storyteller, to be able to somehow emulate what Rowdy Roddy Piper and Sweet Daddy Siki did for so many years, and that is find a way to either get the audience to either hate you or love you. There's no in between, and that's how you succeed in that particular business. what does the Success Trifecta look for you in your industry and chosen profession? So it doesn't matter if you're a dentist, a drill sergeant, a mechanic, musician, management consultant, custodian, carpenter. Doesn't matter whether you're everyone from the engineer to the entrepreneur, realtor, and restaurateur. Every single industry or discipline has its own version of the Success Trifecta, and it's a great way to help you avoid what I call the 3 R's of irrelevance. Just being another one who offers nothing more than recycled, repackaged, regurgitated ideas and information. So in order to really explore the Success Trifecta in your particular industry or chosen profession, all you have to do is simply ask. Ask those who've already climbed the top of the mountain. Ask them for their opinion. So for example, in my chosen profession, professional speaking, at a recent conference of the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, why not ask some of the very best in the business what they think their own version of the Success Trifecta is as it relates to this particular industry, and here's what some had to say.
Gary, you got to have a message, you got to have a means of delivering it, and you got to have an enterprise to create some business around it. So having a message, a thought leader. What we're looking for is people not who have read a book and spit it out. We're looking for somebody who actually has some original insights.
So the first thing you have to have, and this may sound trite, but you actually have to have a message. You actually have to have something that's relevant, that's authentic, and that you believe in and that people can relate to. So you'd be surprised at the number of people in this industry who don't actually have anything to say.
Number 1, you need compelling content, which is your intellectual properties. It is no good, Gair, copying somebody else's style or their content.
Number 1, energy. Energy is prosperity. One of my great mentors by the name of Brendan Burchard, big shout out to Brendan Burchard, got that great saying, the body doesn't have energy, we generate energy. Okay, the power plant doesn't have energy, it generates energy. So every day make sure you have a ritual or a routine or a commitment to generate energy, the way you eat, the way you exercise. I don't care if you're a speaker, whatever you do in life, energy is prosperity.
Is you need to forget about the person in the room that is giving you the scrunched up, ugly face, all right? There's one in every crowd. That person that throws you off your game and makes you think that you are bombing your talk is the person who's going to come up to you after and tell you that you changed their life.
The ability to come back to the stage even when I've dropped the ball many, many times. So having some tenacity and some backbone, and when I've been in the corner going, oh, I just totally screwed that up, the ability to bounce back and come back and step back on stage even when I know I've had it in my mind what I thought was a massive catastrophe.
All right, you want 3 things that you need in order to be a great speaker. Well, the first thing, you need to be original. You've got to be able to have a hook, something that's going to drive people in that they've not seen before. People are so used to the same old, you must be original.
And for what it's worth, after about 2,500 or so paid presentations in professional speaking, I think the Success Trifecta boils down to 3 C's. Creative writing skills. If it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage, and that's how you actually sculpt a message, a point of view that actually matters to somebody else. Number 2, captivating presentation skills, whether theatrical or personal. How do you actually connect with, whether it's one person, 10 people in a room, 10,000 in an arena, but content and connectivity is useless without number 3, and that would be being committed to learning and a larger purpose. Harry Truman, I believe, said it's what you learn after you know it all that really counts, and so you have to be the eternal student as well, committed to a larger purpose in terms of service before self, how you actually make sure that your mission is one that is bigger than the pure pursuit of monetary gain. By the way, full disclosure, this post inspired, give full credit to Brett, the Hitman Hart, the Calgary sharpshooter. I picked this book up a few years ago, and I thought Brett's insights on the Success Trifecta were brilliant, and thank you for allowing me to share these ideas with you. Let me see, how can we wrap this up? to change, to really change, is to recognize that we have to get rid of the bad habits, and one of the best ways is to study the good habits of those who are already successful. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, share, and care. Subscribe to the channel, share it with others, because a story not shared really has no value, and care. Go forward and care about the people and planet that we're so privileged to be a part of. And hopefully these thoughts will somehow help you recreate and reimaginate the business, the life, the success that you deserve.